The incessant beeping of the monitor grew louder and louder as the mother stared at the whitewashed walls. It had been what felt like an eternity since the last time the doctor checked on her. With nerves building and sweat pooling, her uncertainty of being able to deliver this child naturally only grew. The doctor assured her that if she didn't progress in the next 5 minutes, he'd need to perform a C-section for the safety of her baby. Her hopes of a natural childbirth were quickly dwindling as hospital protocol took priority over her personal preferences. Unfortunately, this is not an uncommon situation that happens in the delivery room. Doctors push for surgical procedures that leave new mothers feeling overwhelmed, overlooked, and just like another number in the doctor's world. Childbirth has turned into a business in the medical world, with hospitals that have deadlines to meet and doctors who have no time to coach a mother through the grueling hours of labor. We lost the value of the birthing process when we forgot the beauty of how a woman's body was designed by God to naturally give birth. And this is where midwifery comes into the picture. Back in the American colonies, midwives attended the majority of births. They worked out of their homes and passed along their skills to other women. This took a turn in the 1900s when obstetrical practice was introduced and women who could afford it began laboring in the hospitals with these doctors. Midwives who were uneducated and yet seasoned with experience lost credibility to obstetricians coming out of medical school. These doctors soon began implementing man-made procedures that they believed would be the answer to this high infant mortality rate, and yet mothers were left traumatized from their birth experiences, some with no memory of actually giving birth, from being put during the process. Oh, wow, this is gonna take okay. Many people fear delivering with a midwife because they incorporate less medical interventions during the birthing process. This, however, is the beauty of midwifery. A woman's body was designed by God to give birth, and it naturally makes adjustments for the baby to come out. Midwives know and understand this, trust the process of birth, and rarely put time limits on a mother's progress, as each birth needs to be approached by a case-by-case basis. They give mothers the freedom to eat and move around as they choose to ensure comfortability and nourishment. Many people fear delivering with a midwife because of their insufficient training. While doctors have been through a minimum of 8 years of schooling in med school, we cannot fail to realize the value of the hands-on experience that our midwives have. Male obstetricians entered the medical field with numerous man-made intervention techniques that left women traumatized and oftentimes worse off than before. Head knowledge clearly does not equate to positive results. Although we need these trained surgeons for medical emergencies, overwhelmed mothers need midwives who are seasoned in labor coaching that requires stamina and patience. Fearful mothers need the assurance only a midwife with time and care can offer. What time am I at?
You're 4.
Okay. Why do we think that giving birth with the help of a doctor will be safer than a midwife? Why do we believe that a degree from medical school translates over to wisdom in the delivery room? Or has our society convinced us that a piece of paper equates to more success? Many people are driven away from midwifery thinking that they're avoiding medical emergencies by doing so. But Ina Mae Gaskin and her team are a great example of midwives who, through experience and training, successfully kept their intervention rates low, along with their rates of cesarean section and infant mortality. Gaskin opened up a birthing center in Tennessee in 1970, where she and her trained midwives were present for more than 2,000 births. As a team, they successfully kept their C-section rates as low as 1.4%, which is a stark difference compared to the U.S. C-section rate, which is nearing 30%. Due to their personalized care and ability to adapt throughout labors, only 1.3% were transported to the hospitals due to emergency. Their infant mortality rate was 0.39%, while U.S. infant mortality rate remains at 0.59%. Ina May and her team have proved that choosing a midwife for birth will lead to less C-sections and thus less medical emergencies. Doctors have flooded the delivery rooms with forceps and vacuum extractors and have left uneducated women voiceless and unassured. If we want to see a shift in what goes on behind closed doors in our maternity wards, we need to re-implement midwifery into labor and delivery care. They are what our medical field is missing. They're the answer to our fearful mothers whose precious bodies are on the line. They're the answer to our high cesarean rates. They're the answer to the rediscovery of the beauty of childbirth.